What's happening, YouTube? Shadow here, and I'm bringing you the first PvP build for Bloodborne on my channel. I'm so excited. I just got this done. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go over what I'm using, and I'm going to talk about what inspired me to make this build. I'm going to go at the, you're going to see PvP fights here after I get done explaining all this, and you'll see how the build works. So to get started, I'm going to get into what I'm using. Now, the first thing I'm using for my first weapon is the Ludwig's Holy Blade plus 10. The reason I'm using this is because this build was inspired by a Dark Souls boss called Sith the Wolf, and this blade, look at the design on the blade when you transform it. It looks like a design that Torius of the Abyss would use. I don't know why, but it reminds me of the Great Sword of Torius from Dark Souls, and that plays into Sith the Wolf, his wolf companion. So I think it's really cool, so I'm using that. And here at the end I'll go into the stats and what damage it's doing and all that. But the second weapon we're using is Ludwig's his firearm, his rifle. And this is going to be used to, not for damage, this isn't for damage, this is to shoot people who try to heal or attack for stagger and visceral chances. Now the outfit we're wearing is the Ashen Hunter outfit, and it has the gray wolf cap, which is really cool. It plays into the build, and the rest of it is all Ashen Hunter, yeah, blah blah, gloves and chest piece, and it looks really cool, and I really like it. It makes you gray, kind of gives that wolfish feel, so I think it just ties into the build almost perfectly. And I really like how it looks. So next up, the quick items. This build is about speed and damage combined, so we're using Dull Hermbone for enhanced movement. Basically, you can morph around people and be very fast. That's really good. The Empty Phantasm Shell, that applies arcane power to weapon. That's going to go play into the role of dealing out major damage. It's going to help us get a damage boost on top of the major damage we're already doing. And then last but not least is the Beast Blood Pellet, and this is optional. I don't really use it, but it's just there just in case. It basically gives you a little more strength and I think a little more speed. I'm not completely sure though, but that's just there in case. Now here's the stats. We have Vitality 32, Endurance 27, Strength and Skill are both 25, and Blood Tinge is low because that's not part of the build, and Arcane was 17. Now the reason why Arcane has to be at least 15, at least, to use the Old Heartbone and the Empty Phantasm Shell. You need at least 15 Arcane. The reason I have a 17 is I'm actually trying to get up to like 20 or 40 to use the other spells, because I have another build video in mind that will be coming shortly, and so I could use a Arcane type build. I think that'd be really cool. So back to the stats. The right-hand weapon attack, one attack is 600 by itself. That's fucking this sword will deal out damage really well. Right-hand weapon 2, 54, and then 20 and 54. Again, our main weapon is the sword. That's what we're going to be using all the time. There's really no other weapon into this. There's the gun, but again, that's used for stagger. And you can see the runes I have: boost max HP, boost max stamina, all damage reduction, and vol HP recovery. Vol HP recovery doesn't play into it because I don't like to heal. But HP and stamina up because, of course, it's all about speed and being aggressive and attacking like a vicious wolf, basically. So that's that. And the damage reduction is pretty good. So we're about to get into the PvP fights now, so I'm going to explain the fights and what happened, and hopefully you guys enjoy the content. So I will see you in the PvP fights. Alright, so the first fight, here we go. And as you see, I'm being aggressive as I can. I'm using the trick change, the heavy great sword attack when I can, but you're mostly going to be using your sword. Going to quickly get those buffs on. As you see, we are morphing around this guy. We're trying to do major damage as quick as possible. That's what this build is all about, is being fast and being powerful like a wolf. So I really like this build. I have a lot of fun playing against opponents online with this build. It works really well for me, and it fits into my playstyle, being aggressive, fast, dishing out the damage. So first guy's down, not bad fight, pretty easy. So GG to him. And here we have our second opponent, Sarah. So she kind of jumped the gun, tried to use a shaman blade on me, and like totally fucking missed. So I'm gonna take this time to buff up. Got hit with a gun, but no big deal. Time to morph around, cause confusion, and deal out the damage. And as you see, it's pretty fucking good damage, which the sword alone, not even going into the great sword. And you're gonna be using sword again most often for the speed, because the great sword is kind of hard to use in the PvP, but you have chances to use it if you know what to look for, and when your opportunity shows up, what you do. Next up, Swag Lord. Now I remember he was down here. We kind of freaked out, and he's like, "Oh, wave." So I'm like, "Yeah, all right." Bow, give a little bow, and now the fight will begin. So he had respect. That was cool. I like to see respect. So it starts out, he's just trying to get, I guess he was just trying to see how I play, just kind of walking around. But we start to fight. Nice dodge there. I did end up getting hit when I fell down the stairs. We're going to go ahead and buff up. Here we go. You can see how the speed, having that extra speed helps out a lot in the PvP. Again, the gun's for stagger only, not really for damage. I mean, you can see it only hit 4 points of damage. And he's down. And last but not least, this is the last fight. You'll see what happens. It's pretty funny. He was AFK for a second, I guess, and you'll see what happens. I was trying to be respectful and, you know, let him get back. But anyway, this is the last fight, guys, for this build. So thank you guys so much for watching. I just want to say that this is the most fun thing I've ever done for making videos so far for Bloodborne. I love doing this. Another one will be out very soon. So, and I just love this build, how fast and aggressive it is, and how it kind of role plays with Sif the Wolf from Dark Souls and Notorious. So, thank you guys so much again for watching. This is the last fight, like I said. So remember, like, comment, subscribe for daily Bloodborne content, and I'll see you in the next Bloodborne video.